skirt down for a minute. Right now, I just need to know what we lost and how much we got left.
I need you to focus on your goals and dreams so we can get out of here ASAP.
Don't do nothing. Just stay right there.
9 times out of 10, them niggas gonna try to spin back, you heard?
When we find out who did it, you gonna read about it.
Every day I'm trying to chase a check.
You recognize the man in the bed?
Yeah.
Once one foot in the door.
I think you should stop hiding the truth. I'm gonna tell him, okay?
You're gonna have to double that to make things right, man.
I see this shit clear as day, but I don't know if it's gonna be easy to convince the rest of them.
Right now, it's between me and him and nobody else.
Either stay down till we come up, fuck out the way while we blow up.
Trap, bacon, egg, and cheese, shit, I'm on the road. I could get it to you half or you could get it whole. I just call a big bro, he's still on the stove, the hood been getting hot.
This. Hey! Drinks and food on the house on us tonight. So, Brooklyn Records is in the house.
Let's go.
I can never be a goofy out. I was bringing pounds and with that pole moving, you get shot. I ain't never playing the center, but I got a block. I ain't never playing.
Mírame, this is an legit presentation from yours truly, Riaga, all of this again, masterities, let's go, come on! Baila conmigo, pecho en la cabeza, Oahu.
Mana kasi estuvieras en Oahu.
Ella está en Oahu.
She dance like she's in Oahu.
Your hips then drop it low.
Mana kasi estuvieras en Oahu.
Ella está en Oahu.
She dance like she's in Oahu.
Your hips then drop it low.
Dabbing head first to the floor, me know what chat. Mid gal hate on you, they be lurking. Body yeah, they hot on you, girl, don't you hurt them. Work me stressed inside, going broke out. Pretty girl dance and they stop as a concert. Men take a glance and they turn into a blood pop. Bad guys work on their pole, they go local. Big boss man in their back with their motor.
Who backs a letter? Action director. Go get on the dance floor, go throw your neck. Baja la cerveza, yo soy la fresca. Put the wine.
Yo, you already know what it is. We back with another episode. King Ace Network, King Ace Moment of Clarity Show. You already know what it is. Interview-based platform. Any artists want to showcase their talent. You want to do freestyles. You want to kick off your brand, your clothing line. Hit me up. Hit me in the DM, email. It don't matter where you are. We book all artists. Doesn't matter. Before we get into it, let me introduce my sponsors, Bell Home Bed Butter. Bell Home Bed Butter, man. Wear your bed like it's your crown, man. You know what it is, man. We always gotta get that. Always gotta get summertime coming, y'all. Summertime coming.
Yes, sir.
Find your love soon. You know what it is. Find love. Shout out to my man Troy. Find love soon, man. Now today, I want to say that this I'm really interested in this interview right here because in this interview we got an artist where I've never interviewed an artist that makes the kind of music that this man make.
Word.
We got Riaga in the building, right?
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Welcome,
man.
King.
Thank you, son. Appreciate you having me, bro. Came all the way from Colorado to come to New York to fuck with my man Big Ace and the Uda, man. This is my first interview in New York. You know what I mean?
Let's go. Let's go.
You know?
Exclusive.
So much,
Exclusive.
bro.
Exclusive.
It means a lot to me, fam. Thank you for having me.
The first thing I gotta ask you, right, is what influences you to make the kind of music that you make?
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's just been so natural to me as far as like, you know, blending all these different sounds, you know what I mean? Because honestly, I mean, as you know, just like being multicultural, being in a place where it's just so diverse, you know what I mean? My dad being, you know what I'm saying, Black American / Nigerian, my mom being Peruvian, like I just heard so much growing up, you know what I'm saying, going through my household. Downstairs, my dad would be listening to like B.B. King, you know what I'm saying, LL Cool J, Tupac, Biggie, all that, you know what I mean? And then upstairs, my mom would be listening to things like, you know, Romeo Santos, you know, Enrique Iglesias, Bon Jovi and stuff like that. So I just always had like a wide spectrum to just, you know, music. And, you know, as I've gotten older and refined my sound a little bit more, like I just know how to just like blend all the stuff together, you know what I mean? So I was just exposed to just a lot of variety, you know, just growing up. So that's just a reflection. I'm walking culture, I'm walking diversity. So I try to reflect that in my music, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So at what moment in your life did you come to the realization like, this is for me, music is for me, and this is what I want to do?
Oh man, 10 years old, honestly, bro. Like literally just being in a room by myself, seeing 106 in Park, BT, you know what I'm saying? Rap City The Basement, like just seeing our idols just rapping fluently, you know what I'm saying? Not missing a word, you know, hearing R&B for the first time, you know, reggaeton being introduced, you know, on the airwaves, Riaga and stuff like that, bro. Just like being in middle America, you know, being in Colorado, we don't have access to, you know, studios and stuff like that for a very long time. We didn't have like those type of concerts. So, you know, seeing that on the TV screen, that meant a lot. You know what I mean? So just watching that on BET, MTV, I was like, yo, I want to do that one day. You know what I mean?
So you're saying growing up in Colorado, there was no access to music, the music entertainment and stuff like that. It was like it was limited.
Well, you can go to studios and whatnot. Right. I guess I misarticulated that. Like, you can go to studios, you know what I'm saying? Like, there were ciphers and all that stuff. But as far as, you know, a greater opportunity to, you know, tour and do other things, like, we aren't really exposed to that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, like, literally, like, the open mics, the showcases, you know what I mean? Like, all of that is self-curated. All of that is just, like, you know, tight-knit community. And when you do get a buzz, like, it's hard to, you know, get involved in that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to open up for somebody and they're not giving to me because they're so focused on one artist, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of inclusivity like that, so it was kind of hard just, you know, trying to break that barrier. It's better now, you know what I mean? Times have changed, and of course the internet, you know, gets you exposed to a lot more things, so yeah, it's kind of, that's where the grind been at, you know what I mean?
So do you think that you came into the game at the right time to be able to pivot? Or do you feel like people are not receiving the type of music that you're putting out? Or do you feel the love?
Yeah, so I think the pivot is what led me to the love, honestly, because coming up, I was like a rapper's rapper. Like, I was Lyrical Miracle with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the URL, you know what I'm saying, battle bars that you be hearing, like, I'm definitely on that.
That's where we come from.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I really studied the game. I really love hip hop, you know what I mean? I'm really into lyricism, but, you know, going on for years on end with, like, no radio spin, no promotion, you know, it's just, like, truly underground. It does fuck with you a little bit, you know what I mean? But once I got into the reggaeton space and the Afrobeat space, you know, discovering my voice in that realm, you know what I'm saying, utilizing like singing melodies, you know what I mean, patois, you know what I'm saying, Spanish, you know, all the different elements, like it was so natural. And when I did my first song, I just got such a huge reception from it, you know what I mean? And it just took me to places that I've never been before in my career, hence, you know, New York City, you know what I mean? Like, just last month, you know, a couple months ago, like, I performed in Mexico for spring break.
Right,
you know
right,
I mean?
I saw that, yeah.
I never had that in my career until I did reggaeton, you know? So that pivot, like, it honestly, like, it's like spearheading my career in a way that I wasn't, you know, privy to.
So who's some artists that influenced you?
As far as hip hop is concerned, I always say, like, when I tell people this, it's always like they kind of laugh at it, but Joe Budden is my favorite rapper. You know what I mean? Like,
yo, I fuck with him already.
Yeah.
I fuck with him already.
Yeah, bro.
How many times you gotta argue and debate that with people, bro?
It's so fucking crazy.
Yo,
bro.
man.
Like,
that's crazy.
I'm not ashamed to say it, but it's just like, I'm just ready for like any type of dialogue.
You know, when you say it, you gotta break everything down to the T on why you decide to pick him. I go through the same shit, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Same shit, because he's at my #1 spot.
Yeah, he's a genius, really. Like,
for
lyrically,
real.
bro, like the things that he was talking about and like how he structured everything, he was really ahead of the curve.
Ahead of his time,
you know what I'm saying? Like, if he popped out 10 or 15 years like afterwards, like somewhere in like you know, now or you know 5 years later, like bro, he'd be like,
nah, that's 100%.
1000%.
100%, man.
But yeah, bro, just like, but a lot of East Coast rap though, you know what I'm saying? So like I have a heavy like interest in like, you know, down south and East Coast because I was born in Georgia. You know, my dad was in the military, so he was like bouncing around type shit, you know? And anything that came out of Georgia, like we was already on top of. And then he was stationed in New Jersey. So anything that was Jersey, you know, New York, CT related, like we would know all about that too, you know? And then we finally landed in Colorado, and I would just like stay up on, you know, East Coast rap, down south rap. And, you know, that really played a huge influence as far as my rapping career is concerned. You know what I mean? So I just, yeah, Joe Budden, Fat Joe, yeah, of course Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? Gotta do Hove, you know what I mean? Eminem, you know, the GOATs and all that.
The GOATs.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, with your music career, how far do you want to take it?
As far as I can go, bro, until the casket drop. You know what I mean? Because it's like we only have one life to live, you know? Like, and I'm just now getting to a point where I can, you know, go to all these different cities and I can go, you know, promote my music, and I'm getting spin the way I want to. I'm getting love the way I want to now. So I just want to see it all the way through. Like, you know, during the winter time, like I was going through like seasonal depression, and I really was just hating where I was at. And I'm just like, yo, like I really want to make something, you know, out of myself with music before my time is up. You know what I mean? So I've just been balls to the wall, you know what I mean? Ever since the winter time, it's just like, yo, we're going to make things happen. You know what I mean? We're going to find the money to do certain things, you know what I'm saying? We're going to pop out with merch, you know what I mean?
I see the merch. It's fire. I see the merch.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. But yeah, bro, I'm just super duper motivated to just give this my all before my time is up, you know? And it ain't no stopping. You know what I mean? I'm going to do this whether I make it or not. You know what I mean? It's my happy place. I rap so I can feel better.
It's peace.
You know what I mean? I want to share my happiness with the world, you know? That's all I'm trying to do.
So, the album Lost Heritage.
Yes, sir.
Why that title for it?
Yeah, so I'm second gen Peruvian, right? And growing up in a mixed household, and this happens in a lot in mixed households, is like what environment that you are in is more so what you identify with. I was mostly in the black community, so I always like, in a sense, put black first, then Latino, you know what I'm saying? I always knew I was Latino, and there's no denying it, but like I wasn't familiar with it. Like I didn't grow up with like the food and like stuff like that. But yeah, just one day, once I got older, I was just like, man, I really was unidentifying with my Latin side, you know? So in a lot of ways, like my Latin side is a lost heritage, you know what I mean? And, you know, being Black American as well, you know, bro, like we come from Africa, but that doesn't mean we know what country we're from. We doesn't know what tribe we're from, you know what I'm saying? That's a huge thing in contrast with like Black Americans and Latin Americans. It's like in the Latino culture and Latin culture, you can always go back and see where you're from. You can always go back and see that. But so we got to find a DNA. We have to do a DNA test to find where we're from. Like that's lost within itself. So just looking at both sides in that context, I was like, yeah, like this is definitely a lost heritage, but I just know how to find myself through music. You know what I mean? So that's why, like, I just sat down and I was just like, I'm just going to do these genres to the best of my abilities, you know, get really in tune with my roots and, yeah, reclaim myself in a lot of ways, you know? So that's what lost heritage means. That's where it comes from.
That's the second thing you said that I could relate to, because I'm also Panamanian, but I've never grew up or was raised around my Panamanian Latino family.
Right.
But I've always felt some type of connection.
Right.
Like growing up, I always befriended Latinos.
Right.
I always felt connected to the Latino culture.
Yeah.
And then I find out that I'm Panamanian. I'm like, all right, this shit makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So I definitely understand everything you just said. Yeah. That's the second thing, man, that me and this man got in common.
Yeah, for sure. It's an energy there, you know what I'm saying? It's energy.
So,
yeah, it's all relatable.
With the album, I like it.
Thank you, brother.
It's definitely something different to our ears. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not just gonna say this because I'm conducting an interview. There's no skips.
Thank you.
Like you could listen to every track and be able to be like, I fuck with this.
Yeah, for sure.
I fuck with this. Because some people drop projects and you could go without at least 2, 3, maybe 4 songs.
So that's a lot of filler.
That's so, a lot of filler.
A lot of filler, and a lot of shit sounds the same. You know what I mean? It's not an experience throughout the, the track list. You know what I mean?
One thing I like about your music is you create substance.
Thank you.
You create substance. Right now, you got a real, I know the album was dropped in 2024.
Yeah.
Right?
November, yeah.
But right now, you still got like a smash hit.
Yeah.
That's still like, I don't want to say it because I might get tongue-tied. I want you to pronounce it. Yeah. What's the smash hit?
Oahu?
Oahu.
Yeah, Oahu. Yeah,
Oahu.
Yeah.
All right.
I got you, gang.
Now, explain to us, elaborate how that record came about.
Word.
The studio session, the thought process, everything.
Yeah, so first and foremost, this is my camera right here. I own 100% of the record. I produced it, I engineered it, I wrote it, I recorded it, I sang it, I rapped it, I did it in 3 different languages. I own 100% of Oahu. That's first and foremost.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I had a lot of artists come sit down on this couch and nobody was able to say that.
Yeah.
You produced the record.
Yeah. So all that shit you heard, bro, all of the
snares, all of the drums.
Yeah, bro.
How the fuck did you do that?
Yeah, bro. So I picked up producing. Well, let's start there real quick.
Now we gotta go.
Yeah, I got you. It's a whole skill set to it. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bag. My bag is deep with it. You know.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, so I picked up producing during the pandemic in 2020.
Okay.
And, I was just
something new to do.
Yeah. That's exactly what the fuck
something
it was.
New to do.
Yeah. I was engineering in the studio at the time, and he was like, he kind of put in my ear like, yo, like just fuck around with it. Just, test the producing equipment. Did that, started picking up the skills, started running with it. You know what I mean? Did a couple EPs, doing my own music, and I started really finding my sound. I was doing Lost Heritage. I was doing all the beats for it, doing all the entries for it. And I was just like, yo, I don't really hear anybody doing like a tribal, like African Latin, like war chant in the beginning of their like music and whatnot,
right?
And like if you really look deep into like our ancestry, like that's like a real thing. Like tribal war drums and all that shit, like that's a real thing. So I was like, yo, but how do I make it like fun though? Because that was the whole point of this album too, is just making it as fun as possible. There's no swearing in it. There's one song where I'm like swearing in it, but all of it is clean. So I just sat down one day.
Hold on, do y'all know how like challenging that is to like make a whole project with no profanity?
Yeah, especially in this climate.
Yeah,
where raunchy shit
no
is working.
profanity.
Yeah,
in 2025, a project.
Yeah, bro. It's a really conscious thing. Like you really have to be thinking about that.
That's dope right there, man.
Thank you, bro. I just want my music to be heard. Because before I get into the production stuff, like. Shout out my man Heavy Beats in Colorado from the north side. He was encouraging all of his artists to be like, yo, like don't swear on the records that we produce because you're gonna have to come back and do a clean version, and that takes even more studio time. You know what I mean? That's gonna make even more on the DJ pack. You know what I mean? So literally just from that move on the DJ packs, you go from like 9 versions to like 5, 6 of them, you know what I mean? Because so much is like, they're asking for radio edits, it's already edited. Like you can just give it to them straight up and then it works from there. You know what I mean? So yeah, the clean versions, like that was a huge thing, just making sure that I'm keeping, that's what makes it hit, right? Is clean versions.
That's impressive.
Like, yeah, no cursing. But I was sitting down one day with like Oahu doing those tribal drums, and like I was just hearing the beat and I was just sitting there, I was like, yo, this sounds really good. But how would I approach it? Like, am I gonna do it like all Spanish? Would I do the Spanglish? Like, how am I gonna go about that? And once I heard it though, I was like, oh no, this deserves like more of a patois feel. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have Spanish and English in it, but I'm gonna go about it like definitely in the Caribbean, aspect of it, South American aspect of it.
Okay.
So yeah, bro, was just sitting there just, randomly saying shit. because that's the best way to write bars. You feel me?
Just jot some shit down
yeah,
real
exactly.
quick.
Just random thinking, and you know, I landed on Oahu because that's like the thing in like reggaeton and Afrobeats. It's like finding like a city or like a country or like an island to talk about. And I seen how, you know, The Weeknd was talking about like Hawaii. I've seen Ed Sheeran do Peru. You know what I'm saying? He beat me to it. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen Ozuna do Ibiza. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just choose an island. I just chose Oahu, and then I just like finesse the fuck out of it, and that's how you hear it now, bro.
That's impressive, man. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is, but
that's a lot of work right there.
You know how you have like your approach to it though. You know what you're supposed to do. It's like one day you're doing production, next day is writing, next day is engineering, next day it's, you know, recording, next day is mastering. Like as long as you have like, you know, a plan for each song, you know what I'm saying, everything is gonna fall into place. You know, even if you don't do all the things I do, even with just writing, even with just rapping, even with just singing, like you come into it with a plan and you know where to go with it and you see the reaction,
right?
Like you'll be straight, you know what I mean? So this is all going according to plan. How
does it feel when you perform the record?
Oh, it's an experience, bro. It's one of my most hyped songs ever, honestly. Cause I mean, when you just play it by yourself, like people dance by themselves. Yeah. So, but to that point though, there's a huge responsibility on my end to bring that energy to the stage. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a huge thing because the song will be lit, but then the artist will perform and like they're not really like moving around, they're not being interactive, they're not in people's faces, they're not saying stuff on the mic that's interesting, they're kind of just blah. It ruins the song for a lot of people.
True that.
I know a few artists that like have fucked up their songs where like the fans don't even listen to the song anymore because they're disappointed by the performance, you know. So I have a responsibility to just go out there and just put on a good performance with a hit record like that. You can't fuck that up.
Yeah, you can't. You can't fuck that up.
Yeah, the only way you fuck it up is if you fuck it up. You know what I mean?
So are you one of those performers that you stay on the stage or you interact with the crowd? You pull the women, you know what I'm saying? You dance, doing all that, right?
I'm doing all the things.
Because I could just imagine performing that record.
Yeah.
There's a lot you could do with that.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah.
Like if anything, me and the team are talking about getting dancers at some point. You know what I mean? Like getting some sort of like
that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
That
like,
makes sense
in some way, shape, or form because it's a party record.
Yeah.
You know, so we gotta show a party. I can't just be by myself on stage.
Yeah.
Or a song like that. You know, so. Yeah, but I'm usually in the crowd with it. You know, I'm talking to people. I'm talking to my DJ. I'm talking, you know, I'm looking around just seeing who's I can make eye contact with, you know. I want to make sure that I leave my footprint on people's memories when I perform, you know.
So what would be your futuristic, let's say your futuristic feature list on features you want?
Man, because I got the reggaeton, the Afrobeats list, and then I got the rapper list. For the reggaeton stuff though, 3 people that I would love to collab with, like the megastars, it's like I would say Romeo Santos, because I've been a huge fan forever.
Okay.
And I would love to do a song with him. Ozuna, for sure, he's one of my favorite reggaeton artists. And of course, you know, he's popular right now, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
You know,
yeah.
You know, that's an easy one. It's just, you know, it's a banger with everything that they do, you know.
Yeah.
And Romeo Santos, he's a legend. You know what I'm saying? Being a bachata, being with Aventura and stuff. So I would love to have him on a record. Afrobeats, I mean, honestly, I got like 2. Because I grew up on him, Akon. I would love to do a song with Akon and do some shit. You know what I mean? He'd be fire.
Yeah.
And then Rotimi, Dre from Power.
Now Rotimi
got some shit, bro. I
could hear you being on a song with Rotimi.
Yeah.
I can hear that. I can see that.
Yeah, bro.
Gotta find a way to make that happen.
Yeah, got to, bro. He's one of my favorite artists. I was bumping him a couple of days ago before coming over here.
I actually feel like Rotimi is underrated.
Yeah, super underrated.
Super underrated. I think people are so focused on his acting that I think him being Dre from Power and the way they wrote his character, damn, man, I think it kind of took away from his music talent because he could go in a bag.
Yeah,
and he has a voice.
Yeah, he
has
really
a voice
sing,
that I feel like it's not appreciated.
It's really not.
Yeah, I listen to him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. Yeah, and that's a lot of thing. That's the thing is like there's a lot of actors that can really sing and rap.
Yeah.
But doing that one movie or doing that one show, like that is who they are for the rest of their lives. They can't do anything else, or at least the world would try to do that to them.
Yeah, it could box you in.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is.
If you let them.
Yeah, man.
If you let them.
Yeah, for sure. It was
so
crazy.
Explain the merch.
Yeah, for sure. So this is Oh Look It's the Gang. We like to say Oh Lit G. Make it easier because if you say OLITG, that's kind of hard. But Oh Lit G it rolls off the tongue. I created the phrase first, then the merch came. So the phrase came in 2018. I was just drunk backstage at a show. You know what I'm saying? I was off the Henny. You know what I'm saying?
Off the hen, dog.
Off the Hinduism, you feel me? Yeah. And, whether you drink, smoke, whatever your fix is, like, you usually start getting super duper creative. You know what I mean? So I was just in a creative space. I mean, I'm backstage at a rap show. Of course you're going to be, creative juices are flowing. And I was just randomly thinking, I was like, what would Fat Albert say if he saw his friends? And I was like, oh, look, it's the gang. I just said that out loud. And then I just started saying it throughout the night. And then everybody from that night, it kind of like just caught on. So now when I'm going outside and, going to like an open mic or doing like a show, people are looking at me and be like, oh, look, it's the gang. You know what I mean? What I ended up doing, though, was I turned it into a tag from that. So it's in all of my music. Oh, look, it's the gang. You know what I'm saying? Got the female version, got other versions of it as well. And then, from there, people wanted T-shirts. People wanted, merchandise. And, I just started to just, go in. Made it an LLC. You know what I mean? Got the logo popping and, really put in on it. And, we're here now. You know what I'm saying? From head to toe with it.
The way you are, like, describing everything, it's like we don't hear a lot of this from a lot of artists. You know what I'm saying? Taking control, owning stuff, doing the LLCs, doing the work, actually being able to put the footwork in, invest in yourself. Explain to people how important it is to invest in yourself first before anybody else do it.
Yeah, bro. Investing in yourself, in health, in finances, you know what I'm saying, in life, investing in yourself is so important because the moment you become contingent and become reliant on somebody else, like you'll always be prone to fall. You'll always be at someone's mercy when you do not take control of you. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not just in people, it's with substances as well. It's with, like all the things that surround us, you know what I mean? We are all an extension of each other, but at the same time, like our solitude and everything that we put into our bodies, you know what I'm saying, from food to the things that, we digest with like content and stuff like that, like taking control of yourself and not having people like, waver you in any type of way. Like all the abundance come from just taking care of yourself,
Right.
Like I'm here because I eat healthy. I sleep well. I have good people around me. I have all of these different things that improve my core value. So therefore, I can invest in, the brand. I can invest in music. I can invest in other people. Like from there, like the right people will come, and you don't have to be reliant on anybody. And it doesn't matter what happens in your career, you'll always be able to make a hit record. You'll always be able to, create music, do a performance. Like investing in yourself, like that's just an everyday way of living. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just a hobby. It's not something that, you can put like a title on. It's an everyday thing. It's when you wake up, you know what I mean? That's what investing in yourself really is.
Pouring into yourself.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
It's high key and important because if you're not gonna pour into yourself, then it's like how other people gonna look at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it
People
starts
read up on energy.
Yeah, it starts with you.
Yeah.
And I'm a big person off energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't fake it.
Yeah.
If it's not sitting right with me, then my energy is gonna show you and tell you that it's not sitting right with me.
Yeah, exactly.
How you able to focus handling the business, the music and stuff? How do you focus on it?
Man, I just remember the things that made me happy growing up. I remember like the moments that you know, music impacted my life. The moments where you know, fashion and stuff like that has impacted my life. Everything has impacted people all throughout their lives, but can you articulate it and can you like reflect back on it and see what it's done to you?
Right.
You know what I mean? And what were the pros and cons to it? Does this impact me in a positive way or in a negative way? Once you sit down and actually just get to explaining your life, you start understanding a lot more of yourself. You know what I mean? Hence, you know, a lot of healed trauma comes from that. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of us rap, right? It's like, it's a Black and Latin suffering. You know what I mean?
An expression.
Like, that's really what it is by the end of the day. But we're able to sit down and reflect on it and articulate it. Once we put the song out, you know, it resonates with the world because it's relatable. Well, when it comes to just putting things together, it's more so just about like, well, how do I feel with music? How do I feel with fashion? Where do I want to go with it? Is this a short-term thing? Is this a long-time thing? Is this something that's going to be good for me 5 years, 10 years? Is this for the rest of my life? You know, really sitting down and just really understanding like your path. And you know, you're not gonna know everything on your path, you know what I'm saying, when you're walking down it, because this life is an independent variable. It's an unknown variable. You know what I mean? You could drive down the street, you don't know that you're about to get into a car accident. You don't know if a person is gonna come around and you know, like that type of time. It's too unpredictable. So with everything that I do, I just make sure no matter what it is, that I understand that it's for a higher purpose. It's not just, you know, trying to get bitches and hoes or like trying to have money and stuff like that.
Nothing mediocre.
Yeah, like how can I relate to humans? Because really, like at this point in time with rapping and singing, doing reggaeton, doing music, like I just want to share my happiness with the world. That's all I want to do. And for as long as I'm on that purpose, like all the creative things will come. I mean, all of this shit is unplanned. Like we didn't know that you know, we would be here today at this point until what, a few days ago. You know what I'm saying? Last week, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all unplanned, you know what I mean? No one knows what the fuck they're doing, so you don't have to put too much pressure on yourself, you know what I mean? Just go out there and do the things you love, do the things you enjoy, be with the people you want to be with, and everything will fall into your lap.
So you got a performance tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
Break down to the people where the performance is, where you performing, everything that's going on with the performance. Let us know.
Yeah, for sure. So I got invited out by It's Gorgeous Music, all the way from Colorado, you know what I'm saying, to come to Secrets Lounge in Queens, New York to get a performance popping. I'm doing Oahu. I'm doing a lot of stuff off the album, you know what I'm saying. I got a 15-20 minute set. We're going to make some shit jug. I'm going to make sure New York has a great time while I'm in the city, man. They're going to feel my energy. You're going to feel my love. I'm not in love. Love is in me. You feel me? Like nothing but happiness and joy over here. So, yeah, you'll see us tonight at Queensland, man.
I got a quick question. Oh, what's that?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What do you prefer, making the music or performing it?
Oh, that's a great question, bro. I think you're the first person that ever asked me that, to be honest.
It's a moment of clarity.
Yeah, literally though. Man.
Oh shit! You got the wristbands
you feel
too.
Me? Oh yeah, it's brand.
Yeah, I ain't even see that.
From head to toe, my boy.
Yeah, I ain't even see the rest of that, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I gotta get the full view. So, but I'm gonna hit you with this, bro. I feel like making the music makes us perform at the high level, because you know, as soon as from inception, bro, you know what the experience is gonna be on stage. Like when I made Oahu, one of the first things I thought was, oh, without me, this is gonna go. When I'm there, I'm gonna have an out-of-body experience.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then like from there, it's like, okay, music video. That's what me and Gorgeous was talking about when we walked in here. You're just like, yo, what's the music video gonna be like? It gotta be in Oahu, bro. It has to. Like, we gonna do Oahu in Venice Beach? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we can't make sense. It would never make it make sense. You feel me? So, yeah, bro. I mean, I feel like making it to performing it is all like just part of the alignment of the song. You know what I'm saying? Part of the process. You know, like I can't say I prefer one or the other, because when I'm making it, it's an out of body experience, and I'm performing it right then, right? Performing it on stage, you know, it's all spontaneity. Like, I know what the music gonna do, but I don't know what the crowd's gonna do. You know, I don't know what's gonna come from here. So it's all, like I said, it's still all unpredictable. So
right.
I treat them the same, bro. For being honest, yeah.
Just off of that question, I want to ask you this question.
Yeah,
what do you prefer, or what do you enjoy better, producing a record or writing a record?
I would say writing, because not everything that I produce is going to get used. And also with writing, like not every beat that I make is going to work. You know what I mean? Like, it works for the moment, or like, you know, something that I made is probably just sitting in a laptop waiting for an artist to fuck with it. You know what I mean? But that's not really the type of time I'm on. I'm mostly just self-produced. You know what I mean? Like, if I had to tell the homie this, because people try to put, like, you know, producing and engineering over my artist career. You know what I mean? They really try to make that a point, especially after seeing the moves that I'm making with, like, Mexico being here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really try to bring me down and make me feel smaller with my other skill sets. But one thing that I always tell them is just like, yo, if I was a producer, how come nobody has my beats? How come nobody has made any songs
Valid
to
point.
my beats? You know what I'm saying?
Valid
Am I
point.
really a producer like that, or I just know how to produce for me? You know, am I just a self-produced artist? You know what I mean? Am I just a self-engineered artist? You know, that's just what I tell people. But, you know, just
that's a good breakdown.
Yeah, for sure. Like, but on the writing process, like, not everything that I make is gonna work, and I'm aware of that. I have self-awareness. I'm not so egotistical to be like, oh yeah, everything I do is a hit. Sometimes it's not there, or it's not clicking at the moment. You know what I mean? The hit might come 5 years later if I'm doing it. You know, but if somebody brings me a beat and I have a vision right there and then, that's all writing ability at that point. You know, so I prefer writing, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, producing is just, you know, I mean, like, I can
Some
dunk a
shit
basketball, but I can shoot a 3 too, you know?
Yeah.
They're both situational, you know what I mean?
And it's like, because you know how to produce the record, you don't got to always wait for a producer.
That's exactly what
If you hear a sound, you could go in the lab real quick, put it together, and then see if it works. And then if it don't work, scratch it, put another sound together.
Right.
That shit is impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
You ain't got to be buying YouTube beats with the tag still on them.
Bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
I've been preaching this shit for days. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, yo.
And it's like, the YouTube beat that you copping, like, there's 5 other producers that have that same beat that you're, you know, looking for on YouTube. You much rather go to YouTube and get the low quality,
or
the
put the work in and do it yourself.
To MP3.
Yeah.
Like, nah, that's corny. Bro.
Or there's 10 other artists who leased the same beat.
Exactly. How many times, you know, I come from the SoundClick era. The amount of times.
The amount of
classic
times, right there.
The amount of times someone had a Johnny Giuliano, Superstar O. Type of
that's the
beat,
third
bro,
thing right there.
Like,
Johnny Giuliano. A lot of y'all do not know who that is.
Yeah, that's the producer.
That was the producer before the producers.
For real.
Once you cut the beat, Johnny Giuliano. That was the shit, man.
Bro,
Johnny Giuliano. Yeah, I did a few tracks of Johnny Giuliano shit, man.
Shout out Johnny Giuliano.
Shout out
one
to
of my
Johnny,
inspirations, man. For real.
Damn, that was a classic one right there, yo.
For sure, bro.
See, off this conversation alone, this makes me know that you really tapped in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
We
like,
new to this, we true to this.
Yeah, this shit ain't just like a hobby. You know what I'm saying? This is like, you really live this, you breathe this. This is what you do.
Yeah, exactly, bro. 1000%.
This is what you do. Yeah. There's no way, to me, there's no way you could walk in a room and not grab people's attention.
1000%, bro. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me, bro.
You grab people's attention just off the rip, and then people gonna be looking like, oh, he got his own merch. He got his own. He designed his shoes.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Shout
out Dizzy Custom.
Yeah.
Montbello, Denver. She hooked me up with this, man.
Oh, look, it's the game.
You feel me? Yes, sir. Yeah, it's the brand. You feel me? It's the peripheral.
So after the Lost Heritage album, what's next?
Honestly, we're pushing just Oahu as far as we can until, you know, the wheels fall off.
Till the wheels fall off.
Till the wheels fall off, and, you know, we'll come back and do some more shit. But right now, Oahu just has so much momentum, bro, that it's just like, and you know, as an artist, bro, like, you can do 100 songs, 1,000 songs, but you always have one or two that take you to the place that you never could take yourself before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no job that can take you there. There's no, you know, therapy session that can take you there. There's no retreat, you know what I mean? Like, there's just certain things that come out of you creatively that just go into the world and just reward you. You know what I'm saying? With good people, with good energy, with opportunities, you know what I mean, that you've never touched before. So that's literally what Oahu has been doing, you know, because if you told me that I was going to be performing in Mexico for spring break, you know what I mean, based off of a dance record, you know what I mean, not from the Lyrical Miracle, not from you know, any of that shit, like, I look at you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it took you to step outside of the norm.
Yeah.
To be able to be like, all right, I want to do something different.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
just
like, be different, but yourself. You know what I mean?
Right,
like
that too.
This is the version of me that was always inside me that I was afraid to be. You know? That's really how I see Lost Heritage with my shit. Is just like, this has always been inside me. This has always been something. There's always been a person that I was, but I was afraid to be it because of, you know, societal norms or like what I was going through. I was so busy on trying to look tough or like trying to look masculine or, you know, that type of shit. And, you know, the world doesn't even give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Honestly.
Like there's like, again, no one knows what the fuck they're doing. So why are you going to live up to somebody else that don't know what they're doing either? You know what I mean? Like, that's stupid as fuck. So, you know, being in this sound and, you know, I just discovered so much of myself. Like, again, just the happiness part of it, you know, that's what I'm living for.
Oahu is like your baby right now.
Yeah.
You're watching the progression from that record and it's like, shit makes you happy.
1,000%.
Just seeing people enjoy the record.
Yeah, 1,000%. I've never seen people like dance so much to my music before. You know, like Oahu really gives that experience. Even before we even put it out, like I was just showing it to, you know, the team and just like the homegirls and all that. And they were all just like, yeah, I got nothing bad to say, bro. That shit's dope as fuck. You know, or like the DJs testing out the record, like not knowing who I am and just playing the record, then just dancing like that, man, it's a different experience. It's a different ball game, bro. I want that every time down, you know.
So is it like before you told us that you did everything with the record,
right?
Did you tell like other platforms or anybody else that?
Nah. So me and Gorgeous just had that conversation. I'm usually good about this, but yeah, when one of the homies that's on the show as well for tonight came in just like, yeah, so what's your occupation? I'm thinking like, you know, technical shit. So I'm like, yeah, I'm an audio engineer, this, that, and the third. Gorgeous was like, yo, say you an artist. And I'm usually good about that, you know what I mean? But I just give people the record, you know? I'm just like, they don't gotta know anything about what I do behind the scenes. They don't gotta know anything about, you know, the technicalities and stuff like that. I'm just gonna give them the record on a blind listen, on a blind reaction, and just see how people react. And they love it, you know what I'm saying? From the name to, you know, like you said, the brand, the image. The image has been really taking me far, you know what I mean? Being on the Papi Chulo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's in that lane.
Yeah,
if you do it right, you could definitely, I would say you could definitely make it faster and get signed faster than Lyrical Miracle.
Yeah, for sure.
You can.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, technically it's pop, right? Technically. Yeah.
Yeah, the sound.
Yeah.
You could say, so it will fall under, but yeah.
I mean, just the fact that it can make people dance is what makes it pop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like it's all cultural. Like I wouldn't expect, you know, like someone like Jay-Z to be on this record. You know what I mean? Or like someone, I mean, I could see Drake on there, of course, but like, you know, there's just certain sounds and there's just certain pockets that are just tailor-made for certain artists and for certain demographics, you know, and Oahu has that, you know. So
you see, before we get out of here, I got to expound on that because you see how you just said you wouldn't see Jay-Z jumping on his record? When I listen to it and I listen to the production, I'm listening for like, this record could be so big that it could, like, somebody from the hip hop genre could jump on it.
Word.
Like, to hear this record and to see the love that people give it, it's like a rapper could easily be like, yo, who that?
Right.
Yo, you know what? I think I could put a 16 on this.
Right.
Even if they not lyrical miracle on it,
Right.
but still bring like a rap kind of swag to it, because you rapped on it too.
Right, that part.
You know what I'm saying?
Valid. That's very
I
true.
definitely
That's
feel
very
like
true.
this record could catch, you know, a lot of lyrical miracle hip hop bar for bar MCs attention.
Right.
Because once they see that the record gets the love, oh, I got a 16 for that.
Right.
I got a 16
like
for that.
brings something out of you.
Yeah,
it kind
like,
of inspires you in a lot of ways.
To me,
I feel that. Yeah.
I can't hear this record and I can't hear this record and not feel the energy.
Right.
Like automatically, even if I'm just in the car, right, and we playing a record, I might not be physically dancing, but there's no way I can hear this record and not just
groove to it.
Yeah, like
you know what I mean?
you're gonna groove to it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's no way, it's no denying
Right.
this type of record.
Right.
Tell everybody where to find you, where to find your music, your socials, and everything.
Yeah, for sure. You rocking with El Rey Riaga. You can find me on Instagram, Spotify, all social media, all digital streaming platforms. El Rey Riaga, ELREYRIAGA on Spotify and Apple Music. For the most part, if you type in Riaga, I'll pop up, you know what I mean? But yeah, tap in with me. And got more tour dates coming, got more performances coming, more traveling around the world. I'm trying to come back to New York if y'all have
Right.
me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's definitely a movie we got motion, man.
We
We
gotta
just,
go to his side now. He came to New York. We gotta go.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you
Yeah.
come to Denver, we got you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
that's
tap
a
in, you know
trip
what I'm
that's
saying?
worth it.
Yeah, we got some shit out there for y'all. So yeah, man, tap in with me. Thank you so much for having me, bro. Again, this is my first interview in New York, you know what I'm saying? I did it with King Ace and the gang, you know what I'm saying?
I'm glad, yeah. I'm glad I got that. I got number one, the first one.
Yes.
It's gorgeous music.
Yeah, man.
Oh, look, it's the gang.
You feel me? You a natural, my boy. You a natural. Yes, sir.
Yo, I like this one, man.
I love it, bro.
I like
Thank you
this
so
one,
much
yo,
for having
for
me,
real,
bro.
man.